So let's talk about the little courtyard that you are going to draw on the grid that you have just created. So this is the courtyard. We have a tree on top here. It's outside the actual grid, but we can draw it in the background. We've got 3 pittosporum golf balls, so they're very round, little shrubs, mondo around them. We've got a concrete pad that goes in front of this deck here. So this is a deck. This is actually a step. It's 200 up, and then this next deck is 400 high millimeters. So there's little steps here. So in front of that is some Ajuga chocolate chip. In front of that is a concrete strip, and then we've got some round schist pebbles. What else is here? There is just a hedge, which will be in the background. The hedge is, let's have a look, 2 meters high. It's a gracillinia hedge. Then we also have, so this here is a pergola. Actually, it's not a pergola. It has a solid roof, and it has very chunky posts in the corners. And then on the back of these corners are some 150 millimeter boards with 50 millimeter gaps. So it's just a screen. So you should be given this, and then you can get started. So let's do this. All right. Again, I like to kind of start in the foreground, because then we don't have to rub anything out afterwards. Actually, before we do anything else, it's best to divide this up into squares that match the amount of squares I've got here. The scale of this drawing is 1 to 25. So if we get a ruler and we divide it up, so there's already that line. Okay, so we divide that up just with a light pencil, and actually the same thing here. So I've made it a little bit easier, and I've actually just drawn this plan on top of a grid. You won't always have that luxury. Something is, wrong scale. So it is there, and there's one here. That's right, every pittosporum golf ball has its own square. So now we can kind of see what belongs where. Okay, so I am going to start with the paver in front here. So it starts in this square here, and it ends in this one here. And it's in the middle. So I am going to figure out where it goes. So, okay. Let's find the middle first of this front square. That's easy. Now once we have the middle, we're going to divide that up into smaller pieces again. Because we actually need to know the middle of both these sides of the square. So I'm just gonna also find out where that middle is by putting another square in, another one here, and another one here. Okay, so the middles are there. And now I can go right through that. There. what's wrong with my pencil? There, and there. So I think once you know these little techniques about finding the middle of spaces, you can start applying it to lots of other things. Okay, there that is. I just want to get rid of all these lines now, so we don't need them anymore. Okay. And let's just draw them again. Good. Now, if you were to do a really quick sketch for a client, you wouldn't go to the effort of finding out exactly where everything is, but we might as well. Okay, next thing we're going to do is draw the step here. Now, this is 400 high, and this is where it gets, 200 high, where it gets a little bit tricky, because it's actually to scale. Now, we know that this is 1 meter, so 400, if this step was right here, we actually can draw that. So that is 1 meter. So if it was 200, it was here. So 2 centimeters here. But it's not there, it's there. So we're gonna take this line. Now we're gonna just draw it as if the step was here. If it was here, it would be this high. There. Is it? Oh, sorry. Here. But again, it's not there. It's actually back here. So we're going to now move from there back to there to find out how big the step is in the exact right location. There you go. So just follow that point through there. So that's where it would be. And there you go. You could actually, just thinking now, it might be good to draw the footprint of everything first, like we've done in the past with other assignments. That might actually make things a little bit easier. So where does this stop? This stops in this point there. There we go. That's the step, and then the deck. This is the footprint of the deck here, and then it goes to that point and back to there. I don't think there's any point really drawing it. Now we can do the same method, finding out the height by going back to here and then drawing it there, or we can just double this. There's no problem doing that. It's really, well, it is double that, so we can just do that. Okay, so that's 1.2 centimeters in this spot. So if we go to 2.4 centimeters, from here actually, 2.4 up there, we get the height of the deck. There you go. Oh, actually, let's just draw this line here a little bit, sketch it a little bit. That's where the deck stops. So I know where to stop drawing this line approximately. There. Oh, I have not drawn the end of the step in. Better do that. and the step goes to, oh, this is where it gets so tricky. There. That's right. Yeah. There you go. And that one goes up. Cool. And goes back to the vanishing point again. Let's move this. And here is the back of the deck. Alright. I find it really, really confusing looking at all these squares, so I am going to get rid of these. You don't have to do that if you don't find it confusing. I just feel like I get a headache from just looking at all those lines. Still have to do the back of the step here. There you go. Get rid of some of these lines as well. Okay. I don't know if this got any better with me getting rid of these. Okay. Yeah. I can kind of see it a little bit better now. Alright, so next are the posts. Okay, the posts are, it doesn't actually say how high these are. I'm going to say that they are about 2.2 height from the deck. So if we add 2.2 plus 400 mils, we get 2.6 meters height. Okay, so 2.6 is, oh, it's not big enough. So 26 centimeters. So again, if this post was right in front, it would be this high, but it isn't. The post is in this place here. So if the post was here, it would be that high. But the post is here. So then we go from this point back to here. Quite complicated, this. If you find an easier way to do this, let me know. Okay, because it's got a few steps. Yeah. So that's where the post is going to be. And the other side of the post is here. Okay. Now, when it comes to the thickness of the posts are, let's say, yes, 200 by 200. Now, another thing that's 200 is the steps. So rather than working out exactly how big it is, we can just kind of use this. So the 1.2 centimeters and use that over here. It's not 100% accurate, but it's so close that it wouldn't make any difference by doing it the proper way. So we're going to do it this way. That looks very, very chunky. At this point in the design, I would possibly go like, I don't actually like how this looks. I would make them skinnier. So this is, you can tell sometimes this is a good reason to do your perspectives, because you just find out that things don't work. Maybe my steps are just too low, because this is very, very, very thick. Have I done this right? Yeah, I did. Oh, yes, I did. I did do that right. This is... I'm gonna draw this just a little bit more narrow. Maybe it is the accuracy of the method that is screwing with it. We could actually, could we double check? just thinking, like, so this would be half a meter, this would be 250, that would be 200 around about. So yeah, it's pretty much right. But yeah, I think I would adjust my plan and make these posts 150 by 150. Probably. Yeah. Anyway, we know the height now, and because we know the height of the front one, we also can just easily find out the height of the post in the back. Okay, I was just double checking something. It just seems like the pergola is quite low. Something doesn't seem right. I have already done it, so let's just check what I've done last time. Yeah, no, it seems right. Okay, carry on. I'm also not totally happy with doing it this way. Doing it the fast way sometimes means it's just not as accurate. I sometimes struggle with what happens in the top here, but you just have to get the middle bit, the middle point, and go back to the other vanishing point. There you go. Alright, now this post over here. And don't forget to sometimes check if your lines are parallel or 90 degrees with the horizon line. Okay, so again, I'm just gonna go and, yeah, it has to be about the same length here as this, but not completely, just a little bit less. Okay. Yeah, and then back there. So you might get quite confused which vanishing points to use. It's just something you need to get used to. There you go. And then we've got our last one here in the corner. We can use the height of this one. So we can draw the back only. Okay, let's just draw the back of it. It's a little bit confusing. Yes, at this point I think what the easiest way to do it is to draw the footprint of this post by using these other lines that I already have. But this does not look right. That looks very strange. Okay. There. Oh yeah. This looks alright. That looks right. Yeah. So that's a tiny little footprint. I can get rid of this back line. It's just going to confuse us. And there you go, to the top. And this one goes there, and this one goes to there. Now this top isn't right here. It actually has to go that way. Okay. There you go. There are our massive posts. Way too big. And we are going to draw a roof on top of that. Now, just to keep it simple, all we're gonna do is just draw lines from one post to the other. There. And there. Could have made this quite complicated, but think things are challenging enough as they are. There you go. And then we are gonna give it some height. You can decide yourself how high you want it to be, kind of something that you think is a nice balance with those massive posts. Oh. It is really nice to see something come alive, isn't it? Something from a plan that you can't really imagine that well. And now there you go. Now we have this little pergola. Looks pretty cool. Okay, next I want to just draw in let's do the little bit of forms. So I mean, you could do a little cross if that helps to get a circle in there. Kind of fills up that whole. It's tricky drawing a circle like this. Actually, don't really know if this is going to help much with the circle, but I think so. It's going to be a bowl. So there you go. This one. And the last one. I drew that one way bigger, so let's put some height on the other ones. Yep. Oh, you know what? They should really be the same height, so I think we'll go with about this height. Should have done that from the start. So this one's like this, that one is this high, and this one is only this height. Okay, we can add some graphics to that later. I think, oh yes, we still have the, let's see how much time we've got. Okay, we have got the timber slat screen to do. So several ways to do this, but okay, so there are 150, the boards are 150 with 50mm gap. So what you could do is kind of draw some lines where you think it's a 200. So the 200 is again like the height of double the height of this deck, so I think that's about 200. There you go. And then okay, I'm going to just take a little bit off for the gaps. There we go. Alright, I just discovered that this line isn't right, the one above there, so I just need to change that to something. My super annoying camera just turned off by itself, but it gave me some time to think about what exactly I was doing, and I wasn't actually happy with it because how I was drawing it, it was going to end up with having a random gap in the bottom, which is not ideal. Like, this doesn't matter, the gap between the roof and the next board, but I want the gap here to be good, so I'm going to start drawing from the bottom this time. I've also worked out that 200mm is about 8 millimeters, so if I'm gonna if I make these marks 8 millimeters apart, then it should be really nicely evenly spread. And another extra little mark for where the gap is gonna go. Okay, and then I'm gonna take them back to the vanishing point, and we'll have a beautiful screen. Now, if you have your vanishing point slightly different from mine, you probably will have a bit more of the screen visible in between these two posts, which actually would look really nice. So I kind of wish I had done that, but you don't always know exactly how things are going to turn out. Alright, let's just keep going with this. Make sure that you have your finger on the vanishing point whenever you move the ruler, because it's quite easy to lose the vanishing point and then the gaps aren't nice anymore. I think this is going to look pretty good. Oh, I forgot to do that gap there. It's only so little, but it's nice to include it. You might not have a gap there at all, depending on where your vanishing points are. Okay. Almost done. Yeah. Oh look, it slipped. I slipped my ruler. It wasn't on the vanishing point. Oh, it's so easy to do that. And the last one. Okay, it actually works out perfectly. Okay, it didn't work like that the first time. I forgot these little bits here. Better put those in. Alright, I'll do them later. You don't need to see me do this. Okay, one more thing to do. It's the hedge over here. The hedge is 2 meters high. So this is actually super quick and easy. Just going to go to that 2 meter point there. Draw this line above these 2 points of the hedge. Make sure that your ruler is nice and 90 degree with the horizon line. Oh, so I'm going to go back to that point there. There we go. That was nice and easy. And one more thing to do, and it's this tree here. So if you extend this line, so that's the third line, it's lines up with that. So it's this line here. Take it back there. So this tree is going to be about I'd say about here. So we can kind of draw in the stem behind there. I'll just draw it through it because we can just take it away. Don't have to draw it all when we do our ink drawing. It just gives you an idea. So like a nice multi-stemmed kind of tree. And then it's a maple tree. I quite like to do the canopy kind of on an angle here. I think that looks cool with the drawing. But totally up to you how you want to do it. Kind of finishes it off nicely, I think. Yeah, so that's that. Have fun inking it and coloring it. Great work.